Welcome to the Pool Nation Podcast, where it's all pool talk. And we ain't talking about netting and jetting or splashing and dashing. We're talking about becoming a nation of pool pros. We talk about the latest products, trends, and training in the pool industry. Now let's welcome your host, with over a decade of industry insider experience and still the reigning champion of Marco Polo, Edgar De Jesus, and his co-host, John JJ Flawless, the fastest netter in the West, and Zac the Pool Boy Nicholas.
Welcome, everyone, to the Pool Nation Live podcast with myself, your host, Edgar De Jesus. And yes, I am the reigning champion of Marco Polo, along with John JJ Flawless, the fastest netter in the West, and the famous Zac, the Pool Boy Nicholas. Today in our podcast, we're talking about your most profitable services. I want to welcome everyone to our live podcast, the podcast where it's all pool talk, and we ain't talking about jetting and splashing and dashing. We're talking about becoming a nation of pool pros. Wow, this is a rough start for today. Woo! And yes, we will talk about the latest products, trends, and training in the pool industry. But before we get started today, I want to thank our sponsors for this podcast, the Ultimate Pool Tools, the SPPA, Blueray XL, AquaStar Pool Products, Natural Chemistry, Raypak, and Heritage Pool Supply. We want to thank them for their continued support. Okay, I'm going to take a moment here. I have to blame something, John. So I'm just going to blame my teeth and my whole Invisalign. And then I'm rating the sponsors, and then I'm afraid for the S's. I'm like, oh my God.
I'm a little proud of you. You're getting ahead of yourself because usually you would let it go and then Zac or I would jump in and start talking smack, but
I'm learning.
You jumped in and already took a wind out of our sails. And you're like, I'm just going to hit this head on. I'm going to talk about it. And so that you take all the ammo out of our clips.
So let's just skip good mornings now because I have nothing to say.
Wow.
Wow. Zac is having a rough morning this morning, right?
He is. And I think both of you are having a rough morning. You can see by Zac and then you can hear by you, but
and then we could visualize by you because I don't know if you've noticed. Look at him, Zac. Look at him. What's wrong with John?
I'm looking at me and I'm thinking, I actually feel and look younger today, and you guys both look older.
It's the lighting, baby.
I'm actually in a pretty good mood right now. I'm looking, I'm like, damn, dude. I go, what the hell? I started the flawless skincare regimen all over again, and I can definitely see the difference. And I'm looking at you guys and I'm thinking, poor Edgar, he bought a new camera and it makes him look
terrible.
Older. Yeah. And Zac
always looks rough, right?
He's going through something right now, dude. He's dealing with some inner demons right now, dude. I don't know what it is. And he's on a razor's edge right now. I don't quite know. He's about to snap. I'm going to give him a little bit of space. I'm not going to be too tough.
I think it's just my webcam.
I'm not going to be too tough on Zac because he looks like he's...
We're all blaming something different.
Something's going on, dude. Zac looks very ominous. Something's going on.
I'm just wondering what you're listening for.
I know, because let's do a John. Everybody do a John. We're all going to be the...
Is that better?
Expecting to get blindsided by his
It's a war zone here right now.
Oh man, that is hilarious. So Janie's saying that John looks fantastic, but that's because of the lighting that she does. Because
it is all because of Mama.
When we walked into the studio, she had the light to the side, and she was giving him this cinematic look, and it just wasn't working. So she moved it to the front. He did step away, so maybe he did put some of that cream on Zac on his face, that moisturizer that he was trying to get us to use.
But look, the flawless skin. Look, I think it's actually my little, what do they call, crow's feet or whatever? Those things are disappearing and things are looking.
Are you
good.
Using a filter?
No, I'm not using a filter. I don't know. Can you use a filter? Show me.
Janie put on the filter for you.
Yeah, that's what she probably did.
I didn't need a new camera. I just needed to activate the filter. Dang it. Mr. Zac, how you doing, man? What's going on?
I'm good, actually. Contrary to what I look like, I'm actually doing good.
What a rough morning for poor Zac. So
Zac is going to get a complex. He's going to
he's going to be like,
what's wrong with me? I feel good, but I'm getting more.
But he probably didn't expect. He said, I sent him a message. What was it? Wednesday night? Yeah, Wednesday night, John. It was probably like 10:30. He was already asleep. texts me at 6 something in the morning, and he's, hey, sorry, I just saw this. And I'm like, oh, you ready for a call? He's LOL, give me a couple minutes.
I was expecting you to be sleeping still.
I'm like, you ready? He's like, give me a minute. I got to get ready. So I'm sure he had to bounce through it all and do his makeup and his hair and all that fun stuff.
Apparently, I need to do a better job with my makeup. So
I think it's just the camera. Then again, be careful, because John made so much fun of me and poked so much fun of me at my camera that I went out and bought a camera. And I think I bought the same camera that he has, but look at how good he looks, and freaking look at my camera. And it has the autofocus and it has all that. It just looks terrible.
Yeah, that's weird. It could be the laptop. You just have a terrible video card or something. It just can't process it.
Yeah, that could be it. JD is saying that Zac is in the shadows today. It's true. You are in the shadows. You have
He's
that.
Back. Dude, we're going back to the original Pool Nation podcast.
What did you used to call him?
The Night Stalker.
He's night
bringing
stalking.
back the Night Stalker vibes, dude. Do you remember those?
Yes.
Dude, it was,
it was scary.
Oh, yeah.
And he would sit like this.
Oh, yeah.
it was the financial business class.
Dude. And it was like, dude, you creepy, bro.
John was like, nobody's going to listen to us. You're creeping everybody out.
Oh,
Janie was afraid to meet you. She's like,
Don't leave me alone with him. Don't leave me alone with him. He'll kidnap me. Babe, if I go missing, it's Zac.
yeah. Crazy, dude.
Oh, my God. So anyways, gentlemen, super excited to be back on. It's funny because John was saying earlier, he said, hey, it feels like we haven't done a podcast in a while. But I think we've just been so crazy busy that we've been getting through things. It feels like we haven't had that slow time to do the podcast and have some fun and do all that.
It's been a lot of in-person action. We're used to doing our lives. We're used to doing our podcast, stuff like that. And we're on a schedule always. And as of late, especially this last month, it's just been a lot of in-person. And it's been quite fun, actually. Not that I'm surprised that it was quite fun, but it's a lot of work. God, it was a whirlwind of events and timelines and things that had to happen and people meeting, talking and all that. And usually you think you'd get emotionally just drained from it, but it was energizing and it was really fun. And we got to meet a bunch of great people over the past few weeks and see our industry in a different light, where we always get tunnel vision and we live in our own little world, when I'm always a person that says our perception is our reality. And what we perceive of our industry is what we experience in our little bubble. Sometimes people don't get the opportunity to see the other side of it. And there was quite a few folks at the boot camp and at the women's event that got to see other people and get to experience and talk about some war stories and just get to chop up shop and talk of what they're going through and see the similarities and the differences and build each other up. And it was just really neat. And then we got couple things coming up in the pipeline too right now. We got the international show coming up. We're really looking forward to it. And then the boot camp again. And then we got the Western show. God, we got so much stuff going on. It's unbelievable. Edgar, you need to pump the brakes just a little bit, bro.
He was calling me yesterday talking 2024, and I'm like, oh, man, can we get through 23 first?
We're talking about, okay, how many boot camps are we going to do, John, in 2024, right? I'm thinking we're going to do this and that. And what do you think? Da-da-da-da. Oh, yeah, okay. Let's do this. Let's do that. Let's do this. We're talking about the women's event again. We're talking about the awards. We're talking about the Hall of Fame. We're talking about just so much stuff that's going on, so many moving parts. But it's exciting. It really is.
I have a question for both of you. Out of these two events, so we did the boot camp and then we did the women's event, like back to back. I'm not going to ask you which one was your favorite. On either one of those, did you go back home and go, okay, my social battery is drained, like I'm tired? Did you guys hit that?
Do you have to ask?
Yeah, you know, dude, I am like the introvert of and so is Zac. If I didn't love the interaction and what I was doing and truly enjoy it, I would have ran off. I would have not been a part of it. I'd been like, dude, I got busy. I got things I got to do. I have other things I have to take part of. And I'm growing as a human being as well. And I'm thankful to you guys because you've helped me overcome not a fear. I'm not afraid of anything. It's just more of outside my comfort zone, at least, because I don't like people. I've had an experience with some people, and I'm just a different type of person where a lot of people in my life that I've met are I don't know how to put it, but they're exhausting because they're not very, I'm trying to come up with a word and not offend people. But the truth is, but some people are exhausting and a lot of people are very selfish. And it's hard interacting with people that only care about themselves and nobody else. But over these past years, especially growing up in this pool industry, I've opened up myself to a lot of amazing people. And it has helped me break down that barrier, that wall that I've built up over the years of I'm very cautious in who I interact with and who I talk with. And anybody who knows me and speaks to me, and the few people that are like really, truly good friends and all the people that I consider my friends know that I am not like the initiator. I'm not the one that openly talks and does what I need to do. I'm an introvert and I keep to myself, and my social battery, I have to charge it up every day. And when I come out and I do things and I meet people, I have to get through it. But I'm finding it easier and easier to do every single time now because my perception of and how I was hardwired and built is starting to change, because I believe people change and people grow. And like I said, long story short, I'm very thankful that I've had the opportunity to meet all these wonderful people in this industry. And I'm talking about everybody from the manufacturer side, from our vendors, and all the amazing pool pros that are out there. It has just been a blessing, and it has made me a better person in my private life because I've had the positive experiences with human beings opposed to just negative experiences for the most part, if that makes any sense whatsoever. And I didn't know we were going to get into a therapy session today, but I was not expecting this, but that's my thought. What do you think, Zach?
I'm exactly the same way. And I don't really have a social life outside of work. And I like it that way. I go home and we're a family unit. And that's where I spend any time outside of work. We don't go out and go to dinners or things like that with others. But the more and more that we do this, the easier it gets. But I definitely was like tapped out. Even Leslie, after the women's event, she's a total introvert. And after putting herself out there and being more outgoing and everything, she was like Sunday, she was just like, I'm done. Don't talk to me about anything. I'm done.
I think it's a muscle just like everything else. And we talk about it all the time. I think one of the hardest things for people, even for me, is you walk into a room and there's 60, 70 people or 80 pool pros and stuff like that. Once you get talking, it's easy. That part's easy, right? As soon as somebody comes up and asks you a question, there's the segue. But I think always at the beginning is what's the icebreaker going to be, right? If you have to go to talk to somebody, what's your icebreaker going to be? And I think at the beginning, that's what used to, when the event was over, that's what it would exhaust my battery, right? Like me having to put that effort to go do those things. And just like everything else, as you practice that muscle, then it just becomes a little bit more natural. It was weird because I think on these two events, my battery wasn't drawn as much as it has been in the past. And I don't know if that was because Monday, we had so much work to do, right? To get things on track to what's next. That those first 2 days were just like, I was even telling you guys, I'm like, I'm in the zone. I'm in that aisle, just walking down the aisle, not looking to the side. So I don't know if that's what made me that I wasn't as exhausted, but I don't think I was as exhausted once the events were over. So I'm hoping that just becomes a natural thing, right? That we could go out and do these things and it just becomes. But I find them very fun because it's a change in our pattern of the things that we do. Like normally we'll do this podcast right now. It's just us. It's that. There's no more interaction with anybody else. But then we get out in front of people and we hang out with everybody and it gives us a different angle of what we do.
It could be the 47 cappuccinos that you drank at each event.
To be honest with you, at either one of them did I have a lot of cappuccinos. At Heritage, they have all the Starbucks, which I can't drink. I just had my morning coffee and that was it. Maybe that was it. Maybe I should stop drinking coffee.
Dude, I had a lot of coffee at Heritage. Dude, I was like nonstop on that cappuccino.
You tried to kill me with your coffee.
Dude.
So you went hard at Heritage with that cappuccino machine. Every time I turned, he was like, I'm making another one. And I'm like, damn, dude. And he was like flavors and mixing and doing all the
he made me a cappuccino, and then he's like adding extra shots of espresso to the cappuccino. And I'm like, I don't know if this is safe.
Of course, I did look at that machine and go, I think I need that one at my coffee bar.
Yeah, it put yours to shame, I think.
And mine looked like a
I like
drip,
yours. No,
right?
yours is actually really nice. It was just a bigger unit meant for a lot of servings. You don't need too super fancy, but it made delicious cappuccinos, bro. It was really good.
The one thing that I didn't share with you guys, and I was going to take pictures, and Leanne was making fun of me going, leave the boys alone on that Sunday. Went to Williams-Sonoma. They have 2 brand new coffee machines like mine. Bro. But look at what they do. They do cold brew.
I saw that picture. I love cold brew.
And I'm like, oh my God. And of course, Leanne turns and goes, only reason you want it is for your boys because you don't drink cold brew. I'm like, that's right. I need that damn machine. Somehow I need to come up with $5,000 for the next machine.
We'll do a GoFundMe.
But the lady's like, I'm like, wow, it had the double bean hopper on the top. I'm like, what's the difference? Like, mine's this one. And she goes, oh, these 2 new models do cold brew. And I'm like, oh, can you imagine? That'd be a game changer when you guys come to the house. I could literally put one button that says Zac and one button that says John, like I do on mine. And you could just walk in and go cold brew, boom, and hit it.
For many years, I'd make my own cold brew, and it would take days to make, and I would slowly make it in the fridge, right? And it would take forever to do. If I was able to do it and do it properly without it being bitter, I would definitely pitch in to help make that dream happen for us. Christmas is coming around.
Uh-oh. Question is, Leanne was going, let's just make sure your coffee machine doesn't miraculously break tomorrow. I'm like, can you imagine? I walk in the next day, babe, coffee machine died.
I got to get a new one.
Got to get a new one. Oh, well. Oh, that's hilarious. Hey, big shout out over here to Janie is on, Tori, Jeanette, Mr. Jay Brakefield. Happy Friday. Jay, I did see that new feature that you added to that pool with the swing and the water features. That's very cool. David Jones, it's my job, and you guys saw me struggle with the interview. It's hard for all of us. Coffee was delicious. And then Mr. Steve Barnes, we've been watching your videos. Steve, are you back into California, or are you still out in DC? I can't drink coffee in the afternoon, or I can't sleep up after midnight. You should see John. John goes, Red Bull, nightstand, good night.
And a 5-hour. I'll drink a 5-hour just so I can watch the next 5 minutes of a show of like, how's it made or something like that. Because I'm like dozing off. Give me a 5-hour and I'll think that it'll keep me awake, but I still fall asleep.
That is awesome. Gentlemen, a couple things that we need to do just to get out of the way here. And that is, so Steve is saying, yes, he got back last night. And John, he's saying, I watch Marvel. Is that a show, The Marvel?
Marvels, is that what we're talking about? Because that is like one of my favorite shows. Modern Marvels. Oh, I watch in Marvel.
I think so. Here, let's add that to the screen. Oh, gotcha. I don't know about this comment here that we're coming up. So what is that? I don't even know what that game is. I'm done. Is that a board game that he's talking about? Oh, he marvels at your coffee drinking skills is what he does. There you go. There you go, Steve. Which, by the way, Michael was up at their facility yesterday. And you know what Todd and him were doing? They're sending me pictures of everywhere. He's making Michael stand everywhere there at AquaStar, and they're sending me pictures. And I'm like, really?
Yeah, I know. We're a little jelly because we haven't been there. We need to go over there and take a look ourselves.
And he's going to make fun of us. Oh, I invited you guys, but he gave us like a week's notice to go up there.
But hey, speaking of Michael, dude, let me tell you something, dude. Have you seen the quality of his videos that he's putting out on Instagram, dude? I'm digging it, man. Michael, dude, you are killing it, bro.
Yeah.
I'm like watching and listening.
Full-blown editor.
Yeah, he's doing really well.
I'm awesome. Like, we need to bring him to our events and give him our phone and be like, here, do some stuff for us. But for sure. Anyways. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, boot camp is going to be November 12th and 13th. Registration is open. You can go to poolnation.com, or you could go to Pool Spa Patio, go to education, and you can see the Pool Nation boot camp there. Really, right now, the easiest thing to do is when you go to the Pool and Spa Patio, go to the Pool Nation boot camp. There's a button that says register. Once you click on that, it takes you directly into the registration for the boot camp. And it's the same thing on poolnation.com. So if you go to poolnation.com, you're going to see a big button that says Boot Camp Vegas. If you click on it, what it does is it directs you directly into the show site. So you don't have to go to any other pages, and you can register from there. The other thing is, and I know Megan's on here, and Megan, if you could correct me if I'm wrong. So we have the Expo Pass. We have the code Pool Nation. So what you can do is all caps. If you want to go to the Expo part alone, normally it's $55 to $60 for the Expo pass. You can get that for free if you use the word Pool Nation. So just go into the exhibit, put the code Pool Nation, all caps, and then when you register, it's going to give you that pass for free. Megan, if you could let me know, if they register for the boot camp, do they need to register for the Expo, or does it create an Expo pass for them as well? So if you could let me know on that, Megan, and we'll post about it, we'll share about it. Adam is saying wasn't able to register for the boot camp. So Adam, I got your email right before we went live. So I'll follow up with you and send you an email, but go to poolnation.com. And then what you're going to want to do is go to the boot camp button, and there's going to be a register button in the middle. As you click on that, it'll take you directly into the show site to register for the boot camp. If you have any issues with that, Adam, just send me a message. I'll email you, but you can send me an email and I will register you for that, and we'll get that figured out. So what we're going to do is, for this show, we're going to do the boot camp classes. The hands-on classes are going to be on Sunday. Okay, so Megan responded, yep, if you're not doing the boot camp, pick the Expo Pass for yourself and use the code Pool Nation for a free Expo Pass. And if you're doing the boot camp, it comes with an Expo Pass. There you go. Perfect. So if you register for the boot camp, it will give you an Expo Pass. Great to know. And then Steve just posted in the chat the code, the link to be able to register. So you just click on that. But any issues that anybody has, send me a message, whether it is on Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, whatever it is, and we'll walk you and help you through that process. So on Sunday, we're going to be doing a couple of different classes, and that is we're going to be doing pump installation and programming. We're also going to add an ozone part to that class. So they're going to be doing pumps and ozones with AquaStar. Super excited about that. There goes my first super excited. Automation and installation programming with Hayward. We're going to be doing a heater installation and troubleshooting class with Raypak. And we're going to be doing a salt system installation and troubleshooting with Hayward. I do have to put this message up on the screen for John while I'm still doing my things. John, there's a message on the screen for you. Benny's trying to have some fun with you. So go register. If anything, to send us a message. Please note that it's only 80 spaces. I think the last time that we checked, we only had about 39 spaces left, so they will fill pretty quick. I think John sent me a message that there was about another 5 people from Vegas that were going to attend, that they were going to register, but I haven't had a chance to follow up with Megan and see what the registration is at. I'm getting called out here. Janie is saying that she thinks that's your second or third super excited, Edgar. So I got to keep those under wrap and save them for when I'm really, really super excited. So anyways, so the boot camp is going to be on that Sunday. It's going to be from like 8 to 5:30. It's going to be another boot camp similar to the one that we did in Houston. I'm really looking forward to that one, guys.
Sorry, I'm trying to multitask and I'm not good at this.
You're reading the comments?
I'm in chat. I logged in the chat, right?
You logged into chat. There you go.
Yeah, be proud of me. So as I get older, my reaction time, like I was saying, I don't think I'm probably not the fastest netter in the West anymore, because as I get older, my reaction time starts to go down, and I'm switching windows, and I'm over here responding over to Benny, telling him that I have a new charger for him in Vegas. I already put it on the calendar.
Here's the question. Does that really count? If you take somebody's charger at this stage of the game, does it really count? Or do you count them as disposable? I count them as disposable because here's the problem. I don't know with you guys. I have a regular phone and I have the iPhone. I do not own a charger for the iPhone because every time I put it upstairs, it disappears. And then I go to my kids and I go, where's my iPhone charger? And nobody took it. Nobody miraculously took it.
Yeah.
And I was telling Janie, there was one day that I lost it and I started yelling in my house. I'm like, my freaking charger, and I just started cussing and all that kind of stuff. I said, I don't care who took it. They better come and put it back in this wall outlet and blah, blah. 10 minutes later, there is a gold. No, there's a gold charger with a cable that's gray that it's about 20 feet long. And then I'm like, who put that charger on there? So first, nobody confessed to taking it. And then nobody would confess to who put that gray one back in the wall. So I've learned, you know what? They're disposable.
Look, I want to say that I did not take it intentionally. My apologies, Benny. I owe you 2 chargers with interest. So I will replace your charger that I accidentally took with me. I think I did, because I don't even know where it's at. I don't even know what it is, or I'm just going by your word, bro.
I think if they're not labeled, they're free game.
then I'm just trusting you and saying that I accidentally took it. If I accidentally took it, then okay, I'm going to definitely replace it for you. I'm so sorry.
Better not be one of those cheap gas station ones either, John.
Oh, look at what he just said.
I want the original charge. Oh, wow. It might be in ashes. It might be in fire.
He wants the original
I'll have
back.
to go. Okay, well, let me see if I can make
Was
that
it
happen.
the charger that started it?
Send me photos of it so that I can verify it was yours. Show proof.
Ah, that's funny. Coming back to it, boot camp 12th and 13th. On the 13th, we're going to do a lot of classroom style classes. We're going to do water chemistry with Terry Arco, managing salt system pools with David Jones from Hayward, ozone systems with the one and only Steve Barnes, next level water chemistry with Alicia Stevens. And then we're going to close up the day with special water care enzymes and phosphates with Jamie Novak, and Zac, John, and I will be there. It's really going to be, for the people that missed out the boot camp at Zac's place, it's going to be the same thing, right? Like, we've got it. We're figuring it all out, but we're going to give that experience in Vegas. As a matter of fact, I'm going up at the end of September because I want to go look at the space and I want to get the vision of how we're going to do it.
What's the same, but we have the addition of Raypak with the heater.
We have 2 more classes, yeah.
Yeah, and then...
Do you think that's a lot for a day to take in? 4 classes? Because we're doing the pump and the ozone, the automation, the heater, and the salt system pools. So somebody the other day was asking me, do you think that's a lot of information to take in? And I'll tell you in a second. I want to get your thoughts. I'll tell you what my thought process is.
It is a lot of information to take in. It's a lot of information to take in, but I believe wholeheartedly that depending on how you educate people or how you teach people determines how well people retain the information. So you can do a certain type of class or style, and then you can do a 1 day's worth or 4 hours or 3 hours worth of class, give a lot of information, and somebody can't retain it very well simply because of the delivery method or because it didn't cater to a certain individual's way of learning, because we all learn differently and we all retain information differently. So I think it really matters on the way, the quality of the information and how it's delivered is more important than the amount of information. So I really don't think it was a long day for sure. And I think doing those 4 classes will be a long day. But like you say, time flies when you're having fun. And if you're enjoying what you're doing and you're having a good time doing it, especially when you break it up with, instead of just classroom, just sitting there and listening, and you're also doing hands-on, right? And you're doing other things and you're interacting, and then you're also getting information and learning stuff that you probably haven't heard before, or it being explained in such a way to where you can actually understand it. Because let's take ozone, for instance, right? Ozone, and when you start talking about molecules and breaking it from 3 oxygen atoms to 1 oxygen atom to radicals, and you start talking about all this weird stuff, to a lot of people that aren't familiar with that type of lingo or aren't really interested or don't understand chemistry and stuff like that, it might fly right over the head and it gets a little boring. But if you sat through Steve's course in class, the way he delivers it, and that's what we're trying to accomplish, right? It excites people when they learn about something complicated that they haven't been able to understand before in the past. And now they can break it down and digest it and retain that information. It makes people happy and it keeps their attention and it wants them craving more of it. So it's not a simple yes or no question, and nothing ever is with me. I'm sorry. But I truly believe as long as the content is quality and the way it's delivered is proper, then I don't care if it's 10 hours. It doesn't matter. The people that are there really want to learn and be better at what they do. And if they walk away feeling smarter about something, understanding something a little bit better, or they can be better at their work or their job, they'll be hungry for more and more of it. They'll be leaving wish that there was another 2 hours worth of class, I think, personally.
I agree with John, and it's funny because we just went through that program explaining how to facilitate like better meetings and presentations and how to create more engagement and deliver the material. And I think my thought on it is it's a lot of information, and it's really going to depend on what stage you're at in your career as to what's going to make sense to you. But I think the goal for everyone should be, out of every one of these classes, to take at least one piece of information. Because if you go through, it looks like about 9 programs, right? If you go through 9 programs, 9 different topics, and you take one piece of information out of each thing, when you go back, you're armed with 9 more things in your toolbox that you can start implementing and using on a daily basis. And then what happens is it's just like reading a book. I don't know how many books I've listened to multiple times where the first time I learned one thing, the second time I learned something else, the third time I learned even more. So I think these are things that you're probably not going to grasp the entire concept or walk away just remembering and understanding every single thing that was discussed in the program. But the goal is to learn one thing now, and then the next opportunity you have to learn about a topic again, take it again, and then you learn something else. And that's how you build up your knowledge base.
Yeah. And to me, especially these classes, I think are classes, if I was starting all over again, these would be classes that I would go take 2 or 3 times because there's a lot of information. And let's say that you're doing a heater class, you learn how to change a temp sensor. Next time you might learn how to change the igniter. There's so much information from all of the other classes. So I could see a lot of the people going back and taking these classes multiple times. And then the other thing that would be perfect is, and it happened, and David is on here, but there were pool pros there that were like, hey, out on the field, I have this problem with one of the automations that I don't know how to fix. And I'm like, that's exactly why you're coming to this class. When you come there and you get to that part of the training, ask them, hey, how do I set this up? How do I deal with it? Now you're going to get directly from them how to fix that, how to program it, how to do that. But I agree. I don't think it's a lot of information for a couple different reasons. A, it's different classes. B, it's hands-on. So you're moving. So if you look at the pump class, you're doing the wiring, and then you're moving to a different station and you're doing the programming, and then you're changing the pump seals over on the other one. You're constantly moving, and it's not that just sitting there lecture format where it's just a ton of information coming in.
Not that as well. Like you said, it's worth doing 2-3 times. I agree wholeheartedly because, again, it isn't that lecture. And so it isn't the same information just being, because it is fluid and it's very interactive. So there are questions that are asked, and it was multiple times where even I was there and other instructors were talking, and there was questions that came up and I jumped in and I started talking. And we started having a conversation that kind of went down somewhere else, that started answering questions or helping people out. Where when you have an interactive course like that, one, it also keeps the attention level high. And then 2, it creates, you really don't know what you're going to learn there, because you can take that class 3-4 times, but you have different participants in there. There's going to be different perspectives and different questions and different things that they come across that are going to be asked, and you're going to learn more information. So no course is exactly the same because of that interaction. Plus, we also have Red Bulls and Monsters energy drinks too. We're the cool.
Will we have an espresso machine? I don't think we can have one.
Well, we have, dude, at our events, we have coffee for sure. And then we give Monsters, we give energy drinks, and we have plenty of food to keep people going and give them that little bit of a sugar rush. And so, like I said, if it was just sitting in a room and listening to the same presentation, what we're traditionally used to, it can get a little boring, because some people might get it. Not that the information isn't good. I believe the information is great, but the thing that some people just don't learn that way. And when something happens and it goes over your head and you just get lost, and then what do you know what to do? It's like, imagine when school, you start school and you're in geography or in algebra or something like that, and it's your first time in there, but you missed the first 2 weeks. And then you go in there and they start talking about those things they talked about the list, and you don't understand it. So everything doesn't make sense, right? And you're just sitting there going like, dude, I have no idea what the hell I'm doing here or what I'm talking about. I can't really ask questions. I'm not interacting, or I'm too embarrassed to ask. So the beauty of these trainings is that it gets broken down so simply, just to the foundational elements of it, to where they can understand it. Get back to my original point, what I was saying about Steve, how you can make something like ozone sound so sexy and so easy to understand. And he did a very good job of that. And I think that's what people really dig, because now they can walk away and they completely understand the benefit of it. And it's just saying, hey, look, it's not the stuff that is in the hairspray, the AquaSpray bottle or whatever, that ruins our ozone system. Or remember back in the 80s and 90s when everybody was like,
was it Aquanet or whatever?
Aquanet. That's all I remember about ozone back then. Or my dad, I think, because he was a smoker, and remember the little ozone, little tubes of ozone. That's all I ever knew about ozone up until I got into the pool industry.
For those that are listening that asked a question, I really believe that it's not an overload of information. It's very engaging. We talked about it. I was digging to you and Zac with regards to even the education part, even the lecture part. After going through the Women's Summit and all the different things, it's like, even that part, we need to level up a little bit. And I think, by the way, that a lot of the people that are doing the education, so you talk about Terry, you talk about Alicia, you talk about Steve, they see the value in the education. And even if you look at the classes that they teach, they always change it up. So even though it's a 101 chemistry, there's always changes in it. So it's not the exact same class over and over again. And you have intermediate, and then you have next level, and then you have the 5 key things of water chemistry. So there's a constant change. So even if you've taken that class before, they're going to change it up, and it's going to be different things within that water chemistry. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, we will continue.
The Hyper Pole from Ultimate Pool Tools is a pool care pole designed by pool professionals for pool professionals, featuring precision-crafted carbon fiber and stainless steel construction. Go to ultimatepooltools.com or Instagram at Ultimate Pool Tools. Pool pros have specific needs when it comes to general liability insurance. The SPPA program has you covered. With 3 tailored and customizable general liability options, SPPA makes it easy for pool pros to feel secure. Find out more and get covered at thesppa.com. Now available, Pool Invoice. Pool Invoice is a pool billing software created specifically for the pool service and repair industry. It's developed for our industry and only our industry. Pool Invoice is built with recurring billing in mind. You can print, email, text invoices, or even send via WhatsApp. You can add reoccurring or yearly charges, accept credits, and set up autopay. You can even see when customers have seen the invoice. It even has a customer portal where they can log in and see, print, and pay invoices. It has all your customers' information on one page, so you don't need to search through hundreds of invoices looking for the one you need. Just go to the customer profile and it's all at your fingertips. Created specifically for the pool industry, Pool Invoice. Now available at poolinvoice.com. Blueray XL is the power of minerals working for you. Reduce your overall chemical costs and labor up to 50% guaranteed. Whether you have 20 accounts or 20,000, Blueray XL's direct pricing and free shipping to the pool trade have you covered. Improving pool professionals' profit and work-life balance is what they do. Blueray XL, the real mineral purifier. Visit them at BlueRayXL.com.
Blueray all day.
AquaStar's new pipeline cartridge filters, available in 2 sizes, deliver top-notch hydraulic efficiency along with best-in-class filtration performance, approaching that of DE filters. Uniquely designed, open pleat spacing means 100% of the media square footage is usable. And these claims are backed by NSF test results. Designed with the pro's time and comfort in mind, the patented double locking system improves safety and ease of access, making filter cleaners faster than ever before. Available now. Ask your supplier for pipeline filters today.
Natural Chemistry, a leader in specialty water care solutions for over 30 years, is proud to provide products that make pool service easier than ever before. Its unique enzyme formulations in Pro Series Pro Blend improve efficiency of your pool program while reducing frequency of filter cleaning and scum lines. Natural Chemistry is also well known for its wide variety of phosphate removal solutions that include a non-clouding formula in Phos-Free and extremely high-range removal with Pro Series Phos Remove or Phos-Free Max. Save time, save money, save work with Pro Series products. Stop sacrificing durability or efficiency with the help of Raypak's new Avia HD models that utilize NITEC, their exclusive industry-first technology. NITEC heat exchanger technology is Raypak's latest solution to superior strength and maximum efficiency when it comes to residential pool heating. With 900% more nickel compared to copper nickel in critical surfaces, NITEC creates an ideal surface to protect against scale formation and erosion without compromising on Avia's 84% thermal efficiency. Learn more at raypak.com/NITEC.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Pool Nation Live podcast with myself, Edgar, our boy Zac, our boy John. I was running. I almost ran out of time. kids were fighting downstairs.
Dude, I was
and I'm
worried.
like, I'm like,
I came in and I saw Zac on screen. I'm like, Zac doesn't pop on until the end of the commercial. And I'm like, wow, I'm late. I'm going to catch a bunch of crap from the boys. But I made it.
You made it back. Anyways, I'm going to try to catch my breath here.
You're winded, bro, from going up one flight.
I went downstairs and the kids were fighting. And so then I had to listen to the whole fight, right? And then I wanted to get some more water. And I wanted to do that. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, I settled things down. And I literally was like running from my room all the way upstairs. And I'm like, because I stretched out the window. So I was hoping that you guys weren't back and you guys are trying to talk and all people could see was my empty screen. Anyways, so we continue the conversation with regards to the boot camps that is going to be on Sunday. So if you want to register, just go to poolnation.com. There's a button that says boot camp. You can click on that. You could register. The other thing that I want to talk about, gentlemen, and I know that we've been talking for a while and we haven't taken any questions today. Like today's brutal. Today's like brutal. I don't think we're going to be able to get to any questions today, but we have to talk about the Pool Nation Awards.
Yeah, for sure.
We have the boot camp that's going to be Sunday and Monday. Monday, we're also going to have a booth at the show. So we'll be there hanging out with everybody. The other thing is Tuesday night, we have the third annual Pool Nation Awards. And so the nominations, so Zac is driving up next Wednesday. We're going to go to Heritage. We're going to do our annual thing where we announce the nominees. We were working and finalizing all those things yesterday in the process of getting all the cards printed, getting all the food set up, doing all that fun stuff for the nominations. So everybody is going to want to tune in next Wednesday to our Instagram Live. We'll have the nominations and then we head down Speed Zone, right? Like we're going to head, because it's 70-something days away.
Dude, you can believe we're on our third one already. That's crazy.
So here's where I'm having fun with that one. John, Zac, you go back to year one. We thought we were going to have 70 people.
70.
We thought we were going to have 70 people. We ended up with what, like 120, 130 people. Last year completely exploded, but we saw the growth last year. We saw the growth, I think, in the attendance. It caught people's eyes. Where we have seen it explode this year is in the nominations. I think attendance is probably going to be similar to last year. It's in Vegas.
We filled up.
But what I'm talking about is the nominees and some of these different categories and stuff that we have is absolutely crazy. And it's the engagement in the nominations. And I was talking to you guys about it, but even the pool pros that were excited. So we got to figure something out for the system where it recognizes duplicate nominations. Because, even for the products and stuff like that, it was like having to go through all these nominations. And I'll just give an example for heater, right? And it was like this heater and it's nominated like 14 times. I'm having to go through all 14 of them and it just equals to one. But then also for pool guys, for pool girls, for sales reps, there were some people that were nominated, same person, 4, 5, 6 times.
Yeah.
That has me really excited because we're seeing that growth. We're seeing the pool pros out there, getting out there, nominating other people, whether it's the sales reps or builders. There's a bunch. The women trailblazer of the year, the trainer of the year. It's really exciting to see that side of it now starting to grow at that pace.
Yeah. And I think to take it a little bit further too, and I get it and I understand. And I had this conversation with Matt over at Heritage a little bit, and we were talking about our industry and that the reluctance is that there's so many people sometimes that come out with great ideas or good intentions or thoughts that I'm going to champion and change the world, or I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And then they start out really strong and they fizzle away because the resistance was too strong, or the financial burden was too much, or the time dedication just wasn't feasible. As an industry, I think part of the reason, because I'm still trying to get a grasp and understand, and I think we're getting there, is that we're jaded in a certain way because it's like, oh, I've heard this before, or yeah, I've seen that before. Yeah, sure. And at first we were kind of like, wow, when we talked about this and we did, and everybody thought what we were trying to accomplish or what we were trying to do was just like, what are these guys really up to?
It still happens. It still happens.
It does, but not nearly as much, right? Where I think finally where it's getting to the point where people are like, okay, I get them. These 3 guys are crazy dudes, you know what I mean? And I guess that's exactly what they say is what it is. And there are no alternative motives or anything like that. And this is going to be a thing that's going to continue to happen. And what I like, and what I was getting at, is some of the people that were hesitant before, the jaded whatever, are now acknowledging and participating in it, where now they get it and they want and they understand it and they see it and they're not as reluctant anymore and they want to be a part of it, right? Where some people that have been nominated this year would have been nominated 2 years ago, but didn't because of that view or that callousness or whatever they had. But now this year they're being nominated, right? And they're self-nominating and they're putting themselves out there. And to me, that makes me happy because, okay, I think we're breaking through that bitterness or whatever you want to call it, or that hard-headedness. And people are acknowledging and understanding that, hey, look, I want to be a part of this too. And we welcome everybody with open arms. And I think this year is going to be, if it can be possible, any better than it was last year. Was just amazing. We sold out. We had like 5,300 people. Couldn't really fit anymore. All right. And this year we're looking to do the same thing too. All right. And we can only put so many people in the ballroom. And then the HASA event, we can only have 250 people for the after party. And we're definitely going to sell out on that. So yeah. And then this year, everybody, this is going to be a really special year because everybody here that's listened or watched or whatever know that I was the guy that had to be up there and host the Pool Nation Award, the whole thing this year.
You're freaking Zac out.
This year, it's going to be Zac. So you guys don't have to hear me up there because for the whole event, I was up hosting it. First year and the second year, my boys right here to my left conveniently just left me up there, right? And said, John, you got this. And I'm like, okay.
And it was last minute. It's like, here's the mic. It's you.
This year, Edgar and I have come together and said, hey, look, it's going to be Zac. And Zac is going to be the one up there the whole time doing the talking, while Edgar gets to go around doing what he loves to do, shaking hands, kissing babies, saying hi to everybody. And I'll be over by the food table getting to enjoy dinner for once because we haven't had a chance to eat at any of the events because we were always up there busy doing what we need to do. By the time we were done, the food was gone. So I'm going to be testing out the food.
Zac said he is not allowing you to move away from that stage.
We're holding hands the whole time.
Dude, look, I don't mean to call this out, but I got to remember, and even Janie remembers this. I think it was the first one or the second one, where you remember when you came up and you told me, you're like, Zac has this look like all bug-eyed, just like, seriously, like he's like ready to rock. He goes, John, don't move. You're my rock. And I'm like, wow, okay. And I'm like, all right, I got you, brother. I got you.
You're my rock. I'm going to make a t-shirt that says you're my rock on it.
I don't know if he was just putting on a show to convince me for me to do it. But when you said that, it hit me. And I was like, all right, I'm going to be there for my brother. I'm going to make sure I don't put you through this. Because at one point, it looked like you were going to short circuit and just keel over and pass out, dude.
Oh, that's awesome. So have you practiced? Zac?
I don't know what I'm supposed to be practicing because you won't get me.
You're going to find out on Wednesday when you do the nomination night.
Hey, you know what? At this stage in the game, we're going to go through it. We're going to do this.
See, that's what I'm talking about.
That's what I'm talking about right there.
That's beautiful.
That's what I'm talking about right there.
We'll make it to the other side. How we get there might be interesting, but
here's the thing, John. He's going to practice till 2-3 o'clock in the morning starting today. And then he's going to get up there and kill it. And we're going to be like, we found the new MC for the event. That's it. We found him.
Look, it's brilliant what he does. He plays it down so much and then he just knocks it out the park. And it's, dude, really? And I think it's strategy.
Reverse psychology.
It's a strategy. Expect the worst, hope for the best. I always believe in that. And he makes you expect the worst. Oh my God, it is going to be doom and gloom. It is going to be the most terrible thing ever. And he sets expectations so low to where it's impossible for him not to knock it out the park because he goes and he just lands it. That's a perfect example of what I was talking about earlier about growth, right? And individual growth. And I think all three of us have grown.
Oh, yeah.
Over the years. And it's made us a better person in our business, in our industry, and then also in our personal life because it's helped us tackle some of our issues or some of the opportunities that we have as individuals because nobody's perfect and nobody's great at everything. And if we're not learning, we're not doing something right. It's just a testament. Like I said, Zac says it himself, and I said it. So I think it's time for you to say something now, since we're all in a group therapy session here, Edgar. How have you grown?
I'm going to have to change the title of the podcast to Podcast Therapy, Pool Nation Podcast Therapy today. Have I grown? Absolutely. I think it's the same thing. I'm put in situations where I have to do things that I'm not comfortable with, right? But I don't have a choice. And I think it's like that for all of us, right? Like we get ourselves into situations where we're not comfortable with it, but we know it's what we have to do. And then at the end of the day, the beauty of it is we just commit and we're like, sure, is this bothering me? Absolutely. Do I not want to do this? Absolutely. Am I going to do it? Absolutely. And even from my first calls to talking to people, you guys know what it used to be like when nobody would answer our phone and nobody would do any of that. And I'd be nervous to have those conversations and stuff like that. That changes. And over time, you get better, you practice, you do those things and you get better. Talking in front of people at the first Pool Nation Awards, do you think that was comfortable for me? No, it has to be done. So let's just roll. You know what I mean? And it's like you roll with it. And even Janie tells me, she used to go, man, I go back and listen to your first Instagram lives and they were so awkward and you could tell your nervousness in your voice and stuff like that. And now you're just like, wow, welcome everybody to the Instagram live. And you're giving shout outs and but was I nervous at the beginning? Absolutely. Was I terrified to do it? Absolutely. But as all three of us have learned, it's like, we just need to roll with it. We just need to jump at it, go it. And have I grown in both aspects? Absolutely.
I think where you've really grown is that I didn't think it was possible for you to be able to put up with me for all these years because I am a different type of person and I don't adhere to any normal rules or I am a different human being, right? Not saying it's a good thing or a bad thing, but it's my thing. And I am an acquired taste for people to get to know. And I know that some things that I do are probably not the way you look at things or do things, you know what I mean? But you've been able to like understand me.
What works for us is that we are completely different. And in most case scenarios, people would be like, I can't work with that. I can't do that, right? Like people have to be on our own same page. For the most part, we all agree on what the strategy is and where we're headed and stuff like that. But what's so great about us is that we all have different personalities. And we all get to the same point in a different way. And so you have to be able to embrace that in life to be able to work with different people. Of course, it helps that for some freaking weird thing. And since we talked the first time, it's like we clicked and I've talked about it all the times. I swear it feels like we were high school buddies that had lost touch for 10 years. And then all of a sudden you're like, you go through life with all these other group of friends. And here's what happens. You go through life. You're in high school, you have a lot of friends, you get married, you have your kids, your group of people changes, you have that big group of people, and then it starts to shrink. And then when you start to get into your 40s, you're like, man, I don't need 700 friends. I need 3 badasses to hang out with me that we can take over the world. And what's really weird, we had never talked to each other. We had never met each other. But yet, as soon as we did, that click was there. And that's just... People ask me and I'm like, I don't know. It was God's way of just bringing us together and clicking us together. And it was just like meant to be. I don't know.
I think we've
therapy good?
Concluded our therapy session.
Cry.
Yeah.
The problem is I have so many comments on here that we can't end this podcast now because I got to go through all these comments here and post on here. Let's see. By the way, we have to give Maddie a big shout out. Matt, man. Literally.
No
listen to me.
No pun intended.
You are the man, brother. Yeah, no pun intended. You are the man. So we appreciate everything that you do for us, your support. And yes, we are going to all go get in the car and go get the centerpieces the night before. That's an adventure on its own.
I promised Matt the dates because he needs to block off that week so he can go. And so, Maddie, it is Sunday and Monday is the boot camp. Do you want to give the exact dates for the show and the boot camp?
Absolutely. So the boot camp is going to be Sunday, November 12th and Monday, the 13th, November the 13th. And then the Pool Nation Awards are going to be Tuesday night, the 14th. So plan on 12th, 13th, and 14th to get out there. That covered that. But big shout out to Mr. Matt Mann. We promoted him he wanted to be director of security. I thought he needed a promotion. So I said that you're a VP of security because you got to go up. One level.
Every year we got to promote them.
We got to promote them, right?
Every year, for sure.
Right. All I'm going to say is if anything ever goes down with Matt Mann, please have it recorded Matt taking somebody down. Boom. Anyways.
We got body cams for him this year.
For this year, we got body cams?
Yeah. So he has to roll with the body cam on when he takes people down.
So he's saying over here that I need to grow a beard, but at everything that we do, we have a balance here at Pool Nation. So Zac and John don't have hair. So they said, Edgar, you can't grow a beard so that you could have the hair, but you can't grow a beard so that we could have the beard. So that's our balance here, people. So that's why I don't grow the beard. It's been voted 2-1 that I'm not allowed to have it.
It'd be weird if all three of us had the beard.
Yeah, that'd be a
little weird, dude.
Yeah. And your guys' beards are different. So it's not like it's the same thing. It's not like a ZZ Top type thing where everybody's
a piece of art, bro. So
now I do have to say I loved watching you jump on that video last week with this beard. It was like, oh my God.
After I got done with work, right? I'm all cherry red, dude. I'm all sweating. I got my beard. It's like, it was bad.
So one more thing I want to talk about. I need to get through all these comments here and I need to post these here. But somebody's saying, Edgar, you must have a mustache at the very least. Man, I've tried for years. I just can't grow a mustache to save my life. They're calling us the breakthrough boys. LOL. I think the women are getting together and they're putting stuff in our heads as we sleep at night to tell us that we need therapy and that we need to talk about it on the podcast because we haven't talked about anything about pools. It's literally just been.
I guess that's better than the Backstreet Boys, right?
Yeah.
I'm not sure what the Breakthrough Boys are, but it's better than the Backstreet Boys. Oh, mama.
Shoot, I was going to say something and I forgot. So Pool Nation Awards, the night of the 14th. If you want to register to go to the Pool Nation Awards, you can do one of two things. If you get an expo pass, or even if you register for a boot camp spot, it's going to ask you if you wanted to attend the Pool Nation Awards and the after party. In order to attend the after party, you have to go to the awards. So you can't get tickets for just the after party. They have to be part of that. The other thing that you can do is you could go to poolnationawards.com and there's a button that says there to purchase tickets. You can click on it and you'll be able to do the same thing. You'll have one that's just the awards and one that is the awards with the after party. I am super looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to the awards. We have some new categories in this year. We are going to induct a couple people into the Pool Nation Hall of Fame this year. I am really looking forward to that one. We've got a couple new categories. We got Woman Trailblazer of the Year. We've got Trainer of the Year. What else? That's the other thing that I'm liking about this, guys, is that the categories are changing because we do the Instagram lives and people are like, hey, let's take this one out. Let's add that one. And it just becomes more engaging for everybody. What do you think, John?
I think.
You like that part?
I think, therefore I am.
Or should we just stick to?
I think, therefore I am.
Wow. Now he's trying to go deep on us, Zac. Somebody popped his ego in here. Now he's trying to go like all deep with the breakthrough boys.
I don't even know what that means. Yeah, that's coming from my beautiful wife. So,
John's going to be like, I'm a breakthrough boy. She's going to be like, hey, that was a joke. Don't say that. Don't say that.
I have no idea what that means, but I'm hoping it means something good coming from Mama, but we'll see. But I don't know. She's known to give me some kidney shots once in a while, you know what I mean, to keep me in check. But
maybe that's why, because you're making a breakthrough and you haven't had one in a couple of years.
maybe the emotional breakthrough, maybe that we're talking about, because we're having a therapy session. Is that
you put your feelings out? You put your feelings out.
I'm just trying to talk and keep things going to keep Zac from flipping out and like eyes rolling back in his head right now, because he's like in this total friggin' Night Stalker mode right now, dude. Zac, you with us here? Huh?
He's just trying to think how he's going to take us out so he doesn't have to get on stage.
Yeah.
Well, look, hey, I'm going to do this. Oh, we have to do one more break, huh?
Yeah. So don't give your final thoughts. Before we go with final thoughts, and we'll take our final thoughts here. Again, Pool Nation Awards. So the boot camp is on the 12th, 13th. The awards are on the 14th. You could go to Pool Spa Patio, or you could go to poolnation.com and you'll be able to get to the awards from there. You're also able to get to the boot camp from there. Any issues, just send us a message. We'll take that from there. I do want to give a shout out to our sponsors that are helping us with all of those events: SPPA, Blueray, Hasa, AquaStar, Hayward, Raypak, Heritage. If I forget anybody, please forgive me. Ken from Ultimate Polls, everybody, thank you for everything that you do for us. So with that, let's take our final word from our sponsors when we come back to our therapy session and I get the final thoughts from the boys.
The Hyper Pole from Ultimate Pool Tools is a pool care pole designed by pool professionals for pool professionals, featuring precision-crafted carbon fiber and stainless steel construction. Go to ultimatepooltools.com or Instagram at Ultimate Pool Tools. Pool pros have specific needs when it comes to general liability insurance. The SPPA program has you covered. With 3 tailored and customizable general liability options, SPPA makes it easy for pool pros to feel secure. Find out more and get covered at thesppa.com. Now available, Pool Invoice. Pool Invoice is a pool billing software created specifically for the pool service and repair industry. It's developed for our industry and only our industry. Pool Invoice is built with recurring billing in mind. You can print, email, text invoices, or even send via WhatsApp. You can add reoccurring or yearly charges, accept credits, and set up autopay. You can even see when customers have seen the invoice. It even has a customer portal where they can log in and see, print, and pay invoices. It has all your customers' information on one page, so you don't need to search through hundreds of invoices looking for the one you need. Just go to the customer profile and it's all at your fingertips. Created specifically for the pool industry, Pool Invoice. Now available at poolinvoice.com. Blueray XL is the power of minerals working for you. Reduce your overall chemical costs and labor up to 50% guaranteed. Whether you have 20 accounts or 20,000, Blueray XL's direct pricing and free shipping to the pool trade have you covered. Improving pool professionals' profit and work-life balance is what they do. Blueray XL, the real mineral purifier. Visit them at BlueRayXL.com.
Blueray all day.
AquaStar's new pipeline cartridge filters, available in 2 sizes, deliver top-notch hydraulic efficiency along with best-in-class filtration performance, approaching that of DE filters. Uniquely designed, open pleat spacing means 100% of the media square footage is usable, and these claims are backed by NSF test results. Designed with the pro's time and comfort in mind, the patented double locking system improves safety and ease of access, making filter cleaners faster than ever before. Available now. Ask your supplier for pipeline filters today.
Natural Chemistry, a leader in specialty water care solutions for over 30 years, is proud to provide products that make pool service easier than ever before. Its unique enzyme formulations in Pro Series Pro Blend improve efficiency of your pool program while reducing frequency of filter cleaning and scum lines. Natural Chemistry is also well known for its wide variety of phosphate removal solutions that include a non-clouding formula in Phos-Free and extremely high-range removal with Pro Series Phos Remove or Phos-Free Max. Save time, save money, save work with Pro Series products. Stop sacrificing durability or efficiency with the help of Raypak's new Avia HD models that utilize NITEC, their exclusive industry-first technology. NITEC heat exchanger technology is Raypak's latest solution to superior strength and maximum efficiency when it comes to residential pool heating. With 900% more nickel compared to copper nickel in critical surfaces, NITEC creates an ideal surface to protect against scale formation and erosion without compromising on Avia's 84% thermal efficiency. Learn more at raypak.com/NITEC.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Pool Nation live podcast with myself, your host, Edgar De Jesus, our boy, JJ, fastest netter in the West, and Zach, the pretty boy, Nicholas. How'd you like that, pretty boy? No?
I'm trying to make up for all your comments earlier.
Which, by the way, John,
Yeah,
Leslie just killed it on the podcast.
she did. I saw that clip.
Oh, my God, that was gold. Maybe we should have them on the stage. I think they would probably do better than we would.
Yeah,
Oh, for sure.
I agree.
Like, she was really
Let's do
good.
it.
She did really good. Anyways, over here, it's a therapy thing is what Janie is saying, John, about the
Oh, no, I figured. Look,
Blake
I got
voice.
some. We're going to do final thoughts, and I'm going to go first. I'm
Oh,
gonna
wow.
throw-
All right,
Okay.
go.
John, final thoughts.
John, final thoughts.
As I get older, I have to hurry up because see these things pop through my mind. I go outside real quick and I think, oh, I'm going to say this. And then I come in, I completely forget. I figured out a couple things. I figured out what Mama meant by what was it called? The breakaway boys?
The breakthrough boys.
The breakthroughs. And I got to call Mama out here, but I got to give props out to Jamie Novak. And this ties back into her class that she taught. Here's an example right here, and send this to her so she can see what she taught us over there has real world implications. And I have my wife, her and I are like this. Anybody who knows us, right? We are like inseparable. You don't see me without her ever.
How are you?
We're like this.
What was
inseparable.
This? Like this?
Just I got fat sausage fingers, bro. I can't get them. I can't get them to tie around. But we're attached to the hip, if anybody knows that. And it is at a pure love. It's just we're together. We're a unit. But I understand when she says stuff, usually before she says it, or I can see it. We just click like that. But when she said this breakaway or breakthrough boys, I really didn't understand what it was. But what the problem was that she meant to say it was a breakthrough boys. So what Jamie was talking about at her course was how important grammar is and the placement of a comma. So Mama, if you were paying attention a little bit more in that class, like I was, then you would have known that grammar was very important. And if you would have placed a comma after the breakthrough, then boys, then it has a completely different meaning than the breakthrough boys.
Yeah, because now everybody's going to call us the breakthrough boys.
Yeah, the breakthrough boys. But if you put the breakthrough boys, then that means, we had a breakthrough boys, right? That's what she was talking about, our therapy session. I was listening there, Jamie, and I'm going to revisit that topic with Mama as soon as we get off this podcast so that we can avoid this catastrophic failure that we had.
I have a question. So now that you're talking about that with Jamie in the class, so what are your thoughts? Because it caused an uproar at the women's event. So do you do period 2 spaces or period 1 space?
Okay, I do 1 space. Sometimes I do 2 spaces. There's no rhyme or reason to it. I knew of that you were supposed to do 2 spaces. So when I'm typing, I don't know what happened. When I was younger, I was really computer savvy, dude, and I used to type well, but not anymore, dude. When I'm there, I'm just so I'm a 1 space guy. But I am very particular about grammar and stuff like that. I go back and I make sure when I type stuff up that it makes sense and it looks right.
What about you, Zach? Are you a 1 space guy or a 2 space?
I think I'm a 1 space. I don't know.
I never knew ever.
I knew it was 2 spaces, but it doesn't look right to me.
I didn't even know it was a thing. That's the first time in my entire life that I hear that you're supposed to do 2 spaces after a period. Well, at least that's what they were saying, 2 spaces after a period. That just kind of blew my mind. I'm like, now I'm just confused. Don't rock my world like that.
That was my final thoughts. And then I think I was going to say something else, but you sidetracked me.
I sidetracked you. And I have somebody over here going, your most profitable services, ? What
was that?
That's what we were supposed to talk about.
That's what we were supposed to talk about today. We didn't even get to one question, and we were going to talk because that was a question.
That's what I was going to talk about. I walked out going, oh, here we go again. We go off the rails, and then we go off doing our thing. And every time we get on break or we do something like that, Mama come walk in, and I'll say, what do you think, Mama? And she's, I love it, or da, 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 da. She gives me feedback because I want feedback. And this time I've been laughing the whole time. I love it. This is when you guys just click and just talk. And these are my favorite episodes. I think sometimes, is it really what our people want to hear? Or we should be answering these questions? You know what I mean? But I think this is good too, but I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm going to make a promise that our next podcast, we will be answering these questions no matter what. And even if we get off the rails, I'm going to abruptly stop it. And I'm just going to, out of the blue, just answer the question.
You know what? So the people that are listening, is this engaging, or do we need to get our ducks back in a row and kind of get back on track? Because we kind of today we were all over the place. We're an hour and 22 minutes into it. And did we talk pools? I don't know. Did we? I don't know. I think the only pool word we used is when we said Pool Nation Boot Camp and Pool Nation Awards. Other than that, I don't think that we talked about it. So Zach is hearing ghosts in his office. He's hearing ghosts. So Zach, final thoughts.
Those are hard to follow. My final thoughts is, now that you guys started talking about how I'm going to have to do this, is
keep your windows locked, your doors locked. You never know where I'm at.
I'm going to go buy a light after this. Edgar, you better get me something, because something bad's going to happen at some point.
You know what? The beauty is we'll have it on video. So we'll always be able to relive the moment. So if there's any advice that I could give you, is just make sure that you don't botch it. It'll be on video.
I think you can make chloroform with them.
Oh, let's not.
Not that I would know this, but I believe.
Are we talking chemistry now?
I think it's hydrogen peroxide and chlorine. I think actually makes chloroform. I believe.
There we go.
Oh, Zach, you taught me that. When did you teach me?
That's it. That's your final thoughts?
I don't have final thoughts.
You don't have final thoughts. He's struggling today, John.
Yeah, we've been rough on him today. Yeah. I'm sorry, Zach. We love you, though.
It's okay. Yep. I really don't have final thoughts either, Zach. So I'm with you on this one today.
We counting on you to save it.
To save it. I think John's was inspirational. So we'll just put his in a loop and kind of play them again.
About commas?
About the commas and the periods.
Grammar. Yep.
For final thoughts, and I know people make fun of me, but the next events that we do are the ones that we look forward to every year, the Pool Nation Awards, the nominations. And I'm going to go back to the same thing. What excites me is when we all get together in the same room, and the things that we see at the boot camp with 80 people, which is that family feeling and everybody hanging out and everybody helping each other. But now we're doing that with 300 people. And then it's a night to celebrate the pool pros and to really come together. And you have everybody. You have pool service guys, you got builders, you got manufacturers, you have everybody. If you're thinking about going to the Pool Nation Awards, I always tell people, if you go for anything, go for that. The networking and that family that you find there is what carries you throughout the rest of the year. You meet a lot of people, you're able to connect. If you're having problems with your business, that's where the conversation happens. And that is really what gets us excited. I'm excited that Zach's coming up on Wednesday and that he's going to do the nominations event over at Heritage. So we'll get a good taste, John, for how he's going to do at the awards. So that's a little dry run for him. And then I want to thank everybody that was on here. Adam, just everybody, Michael, Janie, Jeanette, Mr. Matt Mann, just everybody that was on here today. Thanks for coming out, being part of the podcast. Join us next Wednesday on the Instagram Live. And I hope everybody has a great weekend. Anything else, boys? Finish it with some good words, because mine was just not that good.
I don't think it was. I think it was on chlorine. I was just that makes chloroform. Is that what you told me? I think it was and chlorine that creates chloroform. I'm not quite sure. I'm going to look it up after we're done, but I believe it was, if my memory serves me correct. But yes, we'll end it at that. According to the Night Stalker.
Here's the disclaimer. Do not try that at home.
Yeah,
exactly.
Do not try that at home. This is not, let's see here. Adam is saying, I'm an acquired taste is the t-shirt.
I am an acquired taste. That's for sure.
So anyways, yep, I don't think you should say that publicly, LL, legal reasons. So yes, we retract that. People do not do
Kevin,
that.
Take it out.
Kevin, take that out of the podcast. Bleep it. You know what you should do? Kevin, this is the perfect thing. Leave it in, but when John says the words or the thing, go beep, beep, and block it out. That'll be funny. So big thanks to everybody, guys. I hope you have a great weekend. We will catch you next Wednesday. Have a great one. Bye, guys.
All right, bye-bye.
See ya.
Thanks for listening to the Pool Nation Podcast, a member of the Pool Nation family. You can listen to us live every Friday here at 9 a.m. Pacific, 11 a.m. Central, and 12 noon Eastern Standard Time. You can find us at Pool Nation or poolnationpodcast.com, on Facebook, or on Instagram at pool.nation. And to find more info about Pool Invoice, the billing software built specifically for the pool industry, go to poolinvoice.com. Before you go, this is what the pool industry has been waiting for. PoolmanUniversity.com. It's the first platform dedicated to learning the swimming pool service and repair industry. A pool service community where you can connect and find videos on business, service, water chemistry, and repairs. See you there at PoolmanUniversity.com.